What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 defensive linemen for the 2022 NFL draft class. That is going to cover things like 3 techs, nose tackles, either 1 or 0, possibly some 3-4 defensive ends, things of that nature. No edge rushers. That is a separate list. So, anyway, I don't know which one I'm going to be releasing first, but just wanted to make that distinction. So, yeah. Starting off at number 5, Logan Hall from Houston. He's 6'5" and 278 pounds. He has a pretty decent spin move. It's kind of slow, but he still makes it work for him. He does tend to spin himself out of position sometimes, which is something I want to see him kind of work on. I did see him at the Senior Bowl and really liked him a lot there. He has a tendency to run down the middle of people. I want to see him run with a little bit more of a plan. But he does show flashes of having really good hands, but I think he could be a little bit more consistent in that department. He's shown flashes of being able to control people as well, which is really important if you're going to be like a 3-4 defensive end, which is where I think he probably will fit best. That's basically being able to, get your hands inside and basically control both sides of the offensive lineman, basically controlling both gaps. Typically, when you're talking about control, you are often talking about like a nose tackle. So if you were to grab hold of the center and you're controlling both A gaps, it's that type of thing. So he does show that to an extent, but it does need to be a little bit more consistent. I definitely think he has the burst and athleticism to play 3 tech at a pretty good level, but obviously the 278 pounds is pretty small for that. I think he could get a little bit stronger and bigger either way, but I think 3-4 defensive end is probably going to be his best fit. And I think that's probably what people are going to be looking at him as. He did play a little bit of edge. I don't want to see him playing edge at the next level. That's just me, though. So, yeah. Let's move on. Farrell is my number 4, the defensive tackle from LSU. He is 6'3" and 338 pounds. And for his size, he can move a little bit. Definitely has plenty of strength, eats up double teams well. He does play with some decent control. I do think he can play 0 or 1. He's not going to give you much in the way of pass rush at all. I think he has really solid hands. He's not going to blow up plays, but he is going to eat up blocks pretty decently. I think he's a solid day 3 guy. That's also where I think Logan Hall is going to be. I think that's where his value is a developmental day 3 guy. But I think Farrell comes in and can be a starting nose tackle for you right away. Like I said, I think he can play 0 or 1, depending if you're a 3-4 or a 4-3. So, yeah. Moving on to Travis Jones, the defensive tackle from UConn. He's 6'4" and 326 pounds. He did pretty good at the Senior Bowl as well. He's got a decent little swim move to him that's kind of developing. He swipes hands down nicely. He plays with some control. Seems pretty damn strong. Powerful hands. I think he can probably play some snaps at 3 tech, but I think he's mostly going to be a 1. He probably can play 0 because he does play with some control, but I think a 1 tech and a 4-3 scheme is perfect for him because he does at least give you some sort of pass rush value. So I think having him just be a 1 just makes a lot of sense. I think he is a really solid, probably 3rd round guy as a 1 tech that can give you some pass value, but is mostly just going to eat up blocks and A gap. But I do like him a lot. So moving on to number 2, Wyatt from Georgia. Big fan of this guy. He's 6'3" and 315 pounds. Very quick hands. And also just quick in general. Very good penetrating 3 tech. Really, really good at stunts. Angry-ass hands. Has a pretty good swim move. Just a really, really solid, angry, penetrating 3 tech with some solid burst and strength to him. He's definitely going to give you some pass rush value, and I think he's a really good run stopper as well. I definitely see him probably as like a late first round talent, maybe early second, depending on how things go. But 3-tech, especially at this level, usually goes pretty high, especially because I don't really see a whole lot of really good 3-techs after him. So I would definitely be looking at him pretty early. And number 1, Jordan Davis from Georgia. He is 6'6" and 340 pounds, and he is strong as fuck. And everybody's seen his 40 at the combine. That is insane. He ran a 4.8 40 at that size, and he is just a monster. He eats up triple teams. You cannot move this guy at all. I've seen people try everything. Like I seen last year. I seen Landon Dickerson, Deontay Brown, and Alex Leatherwood all together try to move this guy, and he didn't budge. He just cannot be moved. And QB sneaks do not work. If you plug this guy in, A-gap is completely covered. Like, you don't have to do anything else to cover A-gap. He is not going to give you much in the way of pass rush, although with that 40 time, he might have a little bit of upside in that regard as well. But he has great hands, plays with great control, and for his size, he can absolutely move pretty decently. He is just completely dominant on the interior, and he's one of the best nose tackles I've ever gotten the chance to watch in college. So I'm huge on Jordan Davis. So, and I think he can play 0 or 1 as well. So, whatever team you are, he fits your team. So, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.